Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric, and it's time for journaling once again. Today is Friday, and it's summer, so the weekend is here, and it's going to be a nice summer weekend, I hope. Today looks like it's really going to be a nice day, so I hope everybody's going to be prepared for that. And for anybody that happens to be new to journaling, let me just reiterate the basics here. At least from my perspective, journaling is something that is for everybody. Even young kids maybe have to be amended to the amount, the quantity per day, but it is something that is very easy to do and something that you can keep doing for your whole life, once you begin writing, of course. So the rules or the guidelines are very simple. Don't worry about spelling, don't worry about formatting, don't worry about what to write. The key is just keep the pen moving. And over time, it'll get easier and easier and easier to do. And the process of journaling is something that can affect you on many different levels of life, as I mentioned, pretty much every day. Like right now, it's a moment in time where you can give back to yourself just to reflect and hear your own internal thoughts. Maybe before the rest of the house gets up, before the day gets going, things like that. And when you do this regularly, you start to lean on it, you start to need it, and it really helps you kind of prepare and kind of ease into the day and kind of feel when you start the day, you've already kind of given back to yourself. And I know many people of different ages that this is a problem. You know, we've gotten so used to waking up in the morning and just kind of going about whatever tasks we have to do. A lot of times they may be chores or tasks or maybe for other family members, and we forget to give back to ourselves, and you run this cycle over time and we can end up feeling depleted. I know I have. And I know now personally that I've remedied a good chunk of that, but there's still aspects of it that I'm trying to give back to myself, and this would be in the form of like travels, vacations, and little outings more regularly. Because I realize that over time when I don't take these little things, I'm not as productive, I'm not as committed to my normal daily activities. So this is one process where like journaling can become an anchor or a foundation in your daily life, as well as being able to process things that are going on in your life as well too. So I'm not going to go too much more into that today. What I want to do today is just have a very simple prompt, very simple, maybe a little generic, a little cheesy in some ways possibly, but also very potent and effective. Today, the prompt is, what are we grateful for? What are we thankful for? And that's a very open, broad statement. And if the writing goes off on a tangent in a different direction, that's more than okay as well too. What I recommend in terms of length, try and write one full page to the best of your ability. If that seems too daunting, then put a timer on, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, I would say. I usually lean on the page side of things in terms of the quantity, because then you know when you're done exactly, and then you can build on top of that. And if you happen to be a student or someone who writes regularly, over time you may need to write 2 pages. It becomes too easy. And for anybody who just stumbled on this video, you can just turn on this video on your TV, set up your environment in a quiet environment, somewhere where you're not going to be distracted, and just have it on. And once I'm done chatting here in a minute or two, then we'll start writing. You just write along with me. When we're done, we're done. Go about your day. And try and do this religiously, regularly. Make it a routine. And then from there, you can staple on other routines after or before it. It's a very good process. So without any further ado, let's get going here. I always recommend a fast pen, 1mm gel. It moves quick. Connect with your thoughts much easier. Get a journal book. You can use paper. You can use anything you want for the most part. Years and years ago, I've actually used napkins, scratch papers. Before I even knew about journaling, when I was a different life and I was an engineer and I was traveling around the country, I would always go to restaurants or little coffee shops, and I would just start writing. And I used to love writing in different cafes or coffee shops, different parts of the world. It's very interesting. It's very fun. And I still do that. And now I'm incorporating it into this. So let's get to work. So get your journal book. If you don't have one, you can always follow one follow the link in the description. We have one sponsored by Moral Brand, and you can get your pen. A fast pen helps connect with your thoughts much better. Enough talk. All right. Let's see here. Ooh. Excuse me one moment. We're getting there. There we go. Okay. And lastly, put the location, the date, and the time for me is 8:17 in the morning. And the first sentence, I usually recommend an establishing sentence of the day. How does the day look? Something like that. And you can also incorporate how you feel and stuff like that too. In the journals that we provide, I actually have a few little prompts to fill in to help kind of give you this reference per your journal day. So in the future, if you happen to read it in the future time, then you have something to kind of orient your perspective. All right, so the prompt is, what are we grateful for? 1 page, and let's do it. Enjoy the process, everybody. Okay, everybody. Hope everybody was able to finish the page. If not, please continue writing. And if you can't do any more, that's fine too. Remember, these are just guidelines. You don't have to take these things as hard and fast, rigid rules. But the more consistent you are and the more you are closer to meeting these goals, if you will, the more effective it will be. And you'll find that over time, 1 page is no problem, 2 pages is no problem, 3 pages. I keep them to about 1 page with these video journaling sessions just because of the time factor on the internet and the post-production and the file size and all that kind of stuff. But there's no reason why when I'm done, if you still feel need to write, please continue writing. But just remember, the benefit of this isn't necessarily writing a whole lot in one session and then skipping away for a few days and then coming back. If you can, if you have to, you have to. The real benefit comes in even writing smaller amounts but consistently over time. And then you build a routine, you build a little session, you build these things, and you can kind of move this around. And I even have a journal book for just when I travel out of the country. It's a little tiny one. And then I only write little tidbits of where I'm at mentally there. I don't write that in the daily journal. So then this little journal book has a collection of just my travels, and they span a much longer time frame. But these are like reference points to your life. These are your life story, you know, to dig back in you. If you have kids or if you have family members, you know, this could be something you store away, and, you know, someone one day may want to look back and see what was going on in someone's head or in your head or something like that. It's a very powerful process and a very cost-effective process. For a few dollars, you can have a journal book. And the last thing I'll leave you with this little journaling idea. When you get a book, get a pen, make sure, of course, it meets the functionality first, but get something that is unique to you, something that makes you feel like, oh, I want to sit down and do my journaling process. You can see my desk here. I got this desk not too long ago, and I've jazzed it up the way I like it. It's kind of my writing desk. It's my travel desk. I don't do my computer stuff here. That's in the office. Here is just for writing. So when I sit down here, I want things that stimulate me. And you'll see some pictures from parts of the world, little trinkets from different times in my life. These things spark my creative process, at least for me. Try and do that for you too. It doesn't necessarily have to be creative, but you want somewhere that when you sit there, especially when you do it over time consistently, it already activates you into that mindset. And the same thing is said for students too, but that's a whole different discussion. Anyways, enough of that. Have a pleasant weekend. If I don't see you, but we'll probably see you next session. Next session hopefully will be tomorrow. So have a great weekend, have a great day, and remember, enjoy the process. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.